Hi guys, it's Ray here. Hi everyone, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're well. We're here to talk a bit about injuries. What's the injury situation? A couple of players look like they're back. In fact, three of them. And we're also here to go over the player ratings for the win against Porto yesterday. So let's see who's in the house and see how everybody is doing. Hope everybody's well. Who's in? Who's in tonight? Let's have a look. We have got Ivan Bravo says City. Absolutely, Ivan. I really can't believe people are watching the Europa League tonight. That'd be really, really poor. So anyway, we're here to talk about injury news and player ratings for Porto. So I'll wait till a few people are in the room before we head off and start talking about what's going down. So what's going on? So it's 9 o'clock in the UK. Pretty dark outside. Things change so quickly. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the game. It was hard work in the end. It wasn't an easy game for us to win. Obviously, we went behind. We came back, which is a good thing to come back from going a goal down. But we had a few chances. They had a few chances, but I think obviously we had a lot more overall better chances, and we did the business. But it was it's hard work. Faris and Chris, how you doing, guys? I hope you're well. I'm just gonna, what happens when I come online, you get a few people get overexcited. A few people get overexcited and wet the pants. Sadly, it'll never stop. But anyway, what can you do? So yeah, City get the 3 points. That's all that matters, guys. All that matters is City get those juicy 3 points. It's the way to start your Champions League group campaign with a win. I mean, just ask PSG how they're enjoying it at the moment. Having lost to Man United, a win is just so crucial, and we've done it. And yeah, we can. I don't think we rest anybody for the next game. We just keep on going along this way. Wow, 10 people already, but no one talking. You know why that is, don't you, Faris? Anyway. So let's have a chat about injuries. Okay. Now, if you haven't been following Manchester City, for example, their Twitter site, you haven't been following them on Twitter, you might not have noticed that there were some pictures of Aymeric Laporte. Aymeric Laporte is back training with the boys. Eric training with the lads. And I think you might have seen another player. Was it KDB training as well? It's not bad, is it? And also news, I actually got from some, it was from Brazil actually, but Gabriel Jesus has started training as well. So he's not training with the lads at the moment. He's training on his own. That leads me to believe, if you look at Aguero took a couple of weeks training on his own, or a week on his own, and then a couple of weeks with the lads, or something like that. Over the space of 3 weeks, Aguero went from training on his own to training with the lads to starting a game. So I suspect Gabriel Jesus is probably at least 2 weeks away before he's going to be risked. At least 2 weeks. And whilst Aguero's getting fitter, I think they'll just keep playing Aguero. These 65 minutes, you'd hope at too taxing, and I think just keep playing Aguero whilst we're at that situation. So yeah, so I think that's the only news. Unless someone's seen anything else that's zipped through. I haven't been on top of the news. I've been trying to sort out stuff for the West Ham preview. I've got 3 I'm doing tomorrow. It's going to be a busy time, guys. But I'd rather it was like that. So we've got we've got Jim Salverson on in the after. I'm doing a recording with him at lunchtime. That'll go out in early evening, hopefully. Jim is a blue tick on Twitter. He's I think he works on the radio, so that's going to be a bit of fun. Is everybody gone quiet? So that's going to be a bit of fun with Jim. And then I've got a couple of guys on at 7 p.m. So tomorrow, this is the itinerary. And I'm doing good to see Laporte coming back. I'm shooting a video with Jim at lunchtime. That'll go out in the evening. And then we'll have the Pets press conference in the afternoon. At 7 o'clock, there's a live stream with a couple of West Ham fans at 7 o'clock. So that's the early evening live stream. And at 9 o'clock, there'll be another live stream with a West Ham fan who lives not too far away from Main Road or the Etihad. So that's going to be really interesting. I'm not sure, Faris. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't think anybody extra is going to be back, because who's out? Laporte. Well, he's not going to come back. If his first training session with the lads is Thursday, I can't see Laporte coming back this weekend. KDB, no, he won't be back either. Mendy's out for long term. Gabriel Jesus is out for probably another 2, maybe 3 weeks. Aki, let's hope Nathan Aki's back. And Fernandinho's out at the moment. So we've got, 6 players out? It's crazy. It really is crazy. I can't really think, Faris, that it's simply down to, not enough rest, not a proper preseason, and too many games. I can't believe, the number of injuries. And you've got to remember, players have come back from injury already this season, So we started with, Cancelo's come back from injury, and Zinchenko's come back from injury. He's fit, I think. And one more, Bernardo Silva. So we've had 3 guys come back from injury, and we've still got 6 out. Absolutely crazy state of affairs, guys. It is bonkers that we've got. Come on, let's get ready for the player ratings, and I'll nip through this. It's going to be busy tomorrow, so we'll get through this. Let's just pick up. I'm just going to go on the BBC and make sure I don't miss any players out from the starting 11. It's easily done. Easily done. Okay, so let's see who's in the house, and then we'll get cracking. Let's get cracking. Let's not mess about. So, Edison, what do you guys think about Edison? What do you guys reckon? To Edison, didn't have much to do. That's right, Faris. 7 seems reasonable. I mean, I don't think he could have saved the goal that went in. I don't remember. Apart from that shocking pass, but look, if you're passing around at the back, occasionally you do make mistakes. He did one pass straight to a Porto player who blazed it over, but apart from that, I don't remember anything. So yeah, 7, fair dues to Edison. I'll give him a 7. Anybody else? Chris or Ivan? It's just you and me, Faris. We'll keep going. So let's look at Walker, Kyle Walker. Once again, I think Kyle Walker showed his pace, showed his power, showed his physicality. He's all that's what he's got. Those are his plus points. Showed a bit of speed on the wing when he did that overlap, if you remember. He's got so much pace to burn. Chris is going to give him a 6. That DS goal was amazing. We need more goals like that. We rarely do it. We will need it in tight and crucial games. Yeah, but that DS goal, it was poor to concede. Walker gets an 8 from Faris. Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he had a decent game. It was hard. Hi, Alexandra. So I hope you're well, Kalispira. It was hard for Walker to get up, if we're honest, because of the compactness of the game. They were playing or trying to. They had a high line. and the game was played in a very small area. 7 for Kyle from Ivan Bravo, 8 from Chris. Fair dues. I mean, as I said, I think he had a reasonable game. What about Ruben Diaz? Ruben Diaz. He's like a mainstay in our defence. I mean, he's only been here a few weeks, and has he played in the back 4 and the back 3 already? And the fact he's the guy playing in the middle of a back 3 means he's the guy you are probably the most comfortable with. Yeah, that Diaz goal was created out of nothing, Faris. I still think it was poor defending. I think we didn't really, no one thought he was going to do what he was going to do. So no one took responsibility, I think. But anyway, it was a well-taken goal, and you got to have a bit of luck, and he had that. He took it and strode into our box and scored. 8 for Diaz. Yeah, it was solo Faris, yeah. 8 for Diaz. Yeah, I think Diaz had another good game. I'm going to be a bit lower than it. I'm going to give him a 7.5. I don't remember him doing much wrong. Obviously, I think it was Diaz's pass to the fella. It was Diaz's pass that was intercepted, so that was a mistake there. Chris is going to give Diaz a 7. I've given him a 7.5. I think there'll be a lot of 7.5s from me tonight. But I think once again, he's confirmed what we were hoping for. He's looking pretty decent. Faris has given him a 7 or a 6.5 if he makes a mistake. Yeah, 7. I think 7 is reasonable because he made a mistake, but overall for the rest of the game, I think he was pretty decent. Like all our back line, I think they were pretty decent for the game. What about Garcia? Now I know we didn't want Garcia to start. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of you guys as well. In the stream we did on the live team news. A lot of people were not happy. Some people were very, very angry about Garcia starting. So, but I thought he had a solid game. And it's interesting what I read in I think it was the Manchester Evening News or something today, that City are still holding out on hope that we can get Garcia to sign a new contract. Garcia gets a 7.5. Who are you giving a 5 to, Diaz or Garcia? 5's, I think, is a bit harsh. I think most of the market's going to be around the 7 and above. I thought 5's a bit harsh, Ivan. But yeah, Garcia. But it was interesting, as I said, that City are still holding out hope that Garcia signs. Now, that's something I said. That's something I said when Garcia said he wasn't going to sign a new contract. That City would still be holding out hope, and that's why one of the reasons I think they were still playing him. Now, it could be true that City are still holding out hope that Garcia signs a contract extension with City. Okay, but here's the but. I was just thinking right now. Now, City could have seen the furore on social media and just come out with this. I mean, it could, sadly, you don't know what's on it. And they could just be saying that. You just could be saying that to placate the fans, and so the fans don't get on his back. Don't know. Either know he's not a traitor. Football Not Soccer, I can understand why we don't want him to play, and I've said that. I've been as vocal as anybody, but you can't go over the line into nastiness. He's not batting for somebody else, Ivan. He's said he's not going to sign a new contract. That's it. And he's still giving his all, and he's not tried to force a move. He's not said, I'm not going to play for the team anymore. I'm going to down tools. I'm going to go on strike. He's not done any of that. He's carried on being a professional. So for that, I can't go as far as calling him a traitor. I think that's far beyond the line. But I still say I don't want him to play. I'd rather have Taylor Howard-Bellis or even Fernandinho or even Rodri at the back. Anybody. But I don't want a player who But as I said, maybe City have come out and said that. Maybe City have come out and said that they're hoping to get Garcia to stay. I think it was Sam Lee. I read it from Sam Lee. I think Pep said that last night. Might have been in the press conference or something. But yeah, they're hoping that they can get him to stay. And as I said, maybe they said that just to placate the fans, keep us quiet, thinking that he he might stay, so that's why he's playing. And as I said, so that the fans don't get on his back. Okay, let's move through the team. Let's look at on the BBC. The BBC have got Cancelo next. So let's look at Cancelo. Joao Cancelo, what do you think he did? First half, I think it was extremely difficult for anybody to do anything in the first half, simply because we weren't taking risks. Really, we weren't taking risks. We weren't trying to get beyond them. I think that was really difficult in that first half for us to be creative. We don't have people like KDB or David Silva. We didn't have them playing, and I think we really struggled. So, I think because of that, you could argue Cancelo didn't look as good as possibly you'd have liked him to. But I think for me, he had a decent game. Pep's only plays him because he wants to go to Barcelona. He's Catalan. I don't know that. I don't know that football, not soccer. He's Spanish. Ivan, why would he favour Premier League over La Liga? What do you think of the Porto boss saying Pep was racist? Nah, I don't believe that. Football, not soccer. But we don't know. That's the bottom line. We don't know. He said derogatory things about Portugal. We don't know. Pep. I was listening to I'm not going to say whose podcast I was listening to. I was listening to a little bit of a podcast today because we were talking about the Aguero thing with Sean Massey. And I was just listening to it to see what they said. And it's the same sort of thing. Unless so someone said, oh, I've met Aguero. He was great with me. He was great with me. Well, let's push it up a little bit. Harold Shipman was great with people, but he still killed a load of people. Just because someone's nice to you, that obviously you get a feeling that they're a nice person, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. So does it mean Pep said it or not? We don't know. Does it mean Pep's a great guy or he's not? We only get a perception. We don't really know the guy. If I was 19 years old, would rather fight for my place for being in the Premier League rather than La Liga. Well, Ivan is fighting for his place right now, And yes, but if you're from England, you want to play in the Premier League. I think generally, Faris is giving Cancelo 7. Porto what can do on says Faris. Pep takes it too far at times. Someone else, I agree. Cancelo gets a 7 from Ivan Bravo. I agree. Sometimes, but it's the heat of the moment as well. Pep is so into it, so much passion. Yeah. But in the heat of the moment, sometimes you can say or do the wrong thing. And I think he's been guilty of that. Maybe sometimes not thinking it through and speaking with too much passion. But yeah, I'll give Cancelo a 7. I thought, nothing special, nothing terrible. Let's move on to Rodri. What do you think about Rodri? Another yellow card for Rodri. Was he any good? I know you had a lot of fans complaining because Rodri and Gundogan are playing and they said it was too slow. But where was our slowness? Our slowness was around the back. A lot of passes between Garcia, Ruben Diaz, and Walker. And Rodri. Far too often we're playing it sideways or backwards. We weren't playing it forward enough in an attacking, offensive manner. Sometimes when we played it forward, it's only to do a 1-2, to play it forward, to knock it back to the guy who played it, just to create some space and time. All right, it's playing it forward, but it's not really attacking wise. Not with any intent or intensity. We were too slow, too ponderous, and Rodri for me was part of that. So let's see, and fans weren't happy. Defense is all 7 except Walker gets an 8 from Faris. It seems reasonable. Why Laporte in the thumbnail? Football, not soccer. That's just a generic thumbnail. Do you honestly think that's something Colt did at the start of the season? But it's just a generic thumbnail. That's going to be the thumbnail that we use for player ratings throughout the season. And what we change is obviously the teams that play the game. That's why Laporte's in the thumbnail. You notice Aki's in the thumbnail as well, because that's what we did at the start of the season. Rodri's going to be a scapegoat. Yeah, well, I have no problem, Faris. But the thing is, Yeah, I agree. It's not his fault. Fernandinho is irreplaceable, but it's down to Pep as well. Pep's bought his kind of player. Okay, he's moved from that. I was thinking about this earlier today. He's moved from that defense. And if I was to ask Pep one question right now, that's the question I'd ask him. You've moved from that defensive type player, that Fernandinho type player, to a more a wall pass player. You know, someone like Rodri get the ball, pass the ball, short distances. Someone like Jorginho, and they're not defensive players. And sometimes that really costs us. 7.5 from Ivan. Oh, he had a long shot. Goalie tipped it onto the post. It's probably a bit more than I'd give him, but I'd give Rodri a 7. Ruben Diaz tries line breaking passes. Pep told them to keep it safe and not to give it away easily, but he did, and they scored. Rodri doesn't have a sense of fun. Absolutely football, not soccer. Rodri doesn't try through balls. Faris, same for me. Rodri 7.5. Only a couple of players can replace Fernandinho, and that's why I said I'll say all season long. Ismail Bennacer for me. Douglas Luiz. If we don't get Ismail Bennacer, Douglas Luiz next summer. I can't see Fernandinho being here after the summer. I think he will be replaced. I would, as I said, I'd like it to be Ismail Bennacer or Douglas Luiz. I'd also like either Houssem Aouar or Messi or whoever. I want some new attacking intent. Alexandros, you know, when KDB started to train, I think he's had his first session today, training, as did Aymeric Laporte. He's not going to be back this weekend. He can't be, really. If his first training session with the lads is today, that's just too soon. My expectation would be next weekend. I've not heard about Ake, but I heard that he was going to be back this weekend anyway. But for Laporte and KDB, I mean, Laporte might be quicker because KDB's been out just a little bit longer. So maybe Laporte could be ready for Marseille and KDB for next weekend. Ivan Bravo, Premier League is the best football competition in the world. Can't even imagine how someone would prefer to go to a lower class league without Messi next season. Just my opinion. That's what we were talking about throughout the summer, Ivan. But if the kid's a Barcelona kid, that's his team. I can understand it. From its Kanté, Casemiro, and Fabinho, and those aren't affordable. Yeah, I agree, but I'll repeat, Ismail Bennacer. I want someone who's mobile and tries risky passes in football, not soccer. Bennacer is a great player, but he hasn't proven anything at the Fernand. Oh no, I agree that. But what did Fernandinho prove before he came to City? You know, we would not have looked twice at Fernandinho when he's playing in Russia. We won't look twice. And you can turn around and say, well, he's playing for his country as well, in Brazil and all that. Ismail Bennacer, 22 years old, playing for his country, and they won something. They won the Africa Cup of Nations, and he was, I think, the player of the tournament at 22 years old. So, you know, you can't forget what he's done. Football, not soccer. Yeah, Thiago would have been a good addition, but we didn't. It's, you know, there's no point crying about it now. You know, he's gone somewhere else, and he was never going to come here. He's never going to come here. Okay, that's it. That's Cancelo and Rodri done. What about your man Gundogan? Gundogan. Now, Gundogan said today, yesterday, he's not 100% fit or because of the COVID thing. So I think but he helped to win the penalty. What happened in the box with him going through, running on, and obviously scored a wonderful free kick. He deserves a little bit of praise for that. Yes, it was slow with him and ponderous, but it was very difficult for everybody who was involved in the middle. A lot of tippy-tappy stuff. So I'm going to give him I've got to give him an 8. I've got to give him an 8 because however much you might not be happy with the way he's passing and all that, he scored a free kick and he helped create the mayhem for the penalty. And I think you've got to give the guy some credit for that. Farid says, if you're Spanish and grew up watching Barca Madrid dominate football, why wouldn't you want to go there? I totally agree. If we got Fred, Pep could have done something with him. Barca Madrid are the biggest clubs in the world. Gundogan gets an 8 from Football Not Soccer, an 8 from Faris. Faris says, but it took years for Fernand to reach his prime. Absolutely. So, that's why I say, once again, Bennacer. He's my man. But I don't think we'll get him. Ferdinand was originally a box-to-box. 8 for Gundogan, Ivan Bravo. Give us control and a goal. Can't argue with that. Let's rock it on, guys. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo. What do you reckon about Bernardo Silva? I think he had a decent enough game. Once again, lots of energy, lots of carrying the ball again, trying things, putting the boot in at times. So, yeah, I think he had another positive game. He didn't, I don't think, influence it as much as the previous game, but I think he had a decent positive game. I'm looking through my notes to see if he did anything. I mean, he had one nice cross to Gundogan, which the keeper saved. But really not a lot else was going on. So I'm going to give Bernardo Silva, I'll give him a 7.5. 7.5, I thought he had a decent enough game. KDB and Silva were wingers before Pep says Football Not Soccer. Benassa would still take time, just like Fernandinho, and he would give Rodri time. Yeah, I agree. Benassa probably will take some time, but I want to see him. Ivan Bravo says he's Spanish and prefers PL. But I think people can prefer one league. But if you're a fan, if you've grown up at La Masia, I can see why you want to go back. Bernardo gets an 8 from Ivan, a 7.5 from Faris. I think I give him a 7.5 as well. Alexandros, did you see what Pepe did to Sterling? Yeah, it was disgusting. But it happens. It happens, Alexandros. And look, I played football and I've never done that. I've never done that to somebody. I have fallen down on somebody when I've been tackled, but I've never done that. I mean, that's not called for. If the ref or the VAR had seen it, he'd have been sent off. Yeah, Ivan, he ran. I'm not sure it's 20, but he ran a lot. Weird that not many people on. Yeah, I don't understand it, Faris. We had so many people on yesterday. It was bouncing last night. Really was bouncing. I mean, the videos we did last night, the numbers were, at least back to decent numbers. I mean, that the team news got nearly 1,700 views, which is crazy. The full-time review has got nearly 800 views, which is good for this channel. Let's be honest. The halftime that got nearly 300. So it is what it is. I mean, there is football going on right now. Some people might be having a breather because obviously you got the weekend, loads of games that you can watch at the weekend, and obviously these Europa League games as well tonight. KDB and Laporte are back. Yeah, Ruth. Well, they're back training. They're not back ready to play. I would get Benassa to replace Gundogan. He would bring balance and has got the legs. I think Gundogan's got another season with us, Faris. I don't think Gundogan's going to leave yet. And he's one of Pep's favourites. Ake was not really injured. It's a precaution. Well, I think Ake had a slight issue with his groin, but he'll be back at the weekend. Ake will be back, I think, at the weekend. Laporte and KDB won't be because they've only had the first training session today. And they ain't going to take the risks with those guys. Anyway, let's move on. We've got Mahrez. For me, Mahrez did very little, in all honesty. He didn't have the pace and the trickery to get past. And it was a bit disappointing. And in fact, at halftime, I said if I was going to bring anybody off, it would have probably have been Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez gets a 7 from Faris. I'll give him a 7. I'm not going to be tight, but I'm sorry, he has to be contributing more. And it's something I said either before or when we got Ferran Torres. And as I said yesterday, when I did that stuff for the Algerian channel, DZ Foots, big channel. And I said, it's such an important season for Riyad. He has to step up. What he's done last season, he has to do better. He has to do better because Ferran Torres, and we'll talk about him, Ferran Torres is waiting. And I've said, I believe when Ferran Torres has got the confidence, got his form and fitness, his fitness is there, I think, got his form and his, knowing how we're going to play, got that sorted, I think we'll see him fire. And I think in the second half of the season, Mahrez will be struggling for his place unless he steps up big time. Ivan Bravo gives Mahrez a 6.5, holds the ball for too long, and voila, loses the ball. Him and Aguero did the least in the pitch if you take out the penalties. Yep, Faris. I hate the Mahrez fanboys. They always say we mistreat him. Absolutely, football, not soccer. Got plenty of grief from them. But, oh, come on, Faris. Come on, behave yourself. We'll talk about Torres because obviously we have to. Aguero, for me, huffed and puffed. You can see he's not fully fit. He didn't have the pace, that explosiveness in pace that we come to expect and know and love from Sergio. But he got that penalty where he scored the penalty. Sorry, I said yesterday and I'll say it again. He was lucky. And the goalie got his hand to it. On another day, another keeper, he'd have saved that. When you take those kind of penalties, you rely on sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. If they go the wrong way, you score a goal. But if they go the right way, I think there's a 50-50 chance with Aguero that the goalie has a good chance to save it. So, I'm disappointed. If you're going to do that kind of penalty, you've still got to put it firmly into the corner. But anyway, he scored. I'm going to give him a 7 for that. Alexandros gives him a 6. Aguero gets a 7 from Faris. He scored the pen, so it should help him and give him confidence. Well, honestly, Faris, do you really think Sergio Aguero needs confidence? He's 32, top goal scorer ever for City. Living the good life. 7 for King Kong from Ivan. Give him more time. Aguero used to always side net penalties, but ever since that Spurs missing, he's changed. Well, side net is fine, but you've got to hit it low and hard. And if you hit it, most goalkeepers, I suggest, don't dive along the ground. They dive just a little bit higher than that. And if you hit it along the ground, I think you've got more chance of it going in. If you hit it off the ground, the goalie's got more chance of saving it. If you hit it into the top corner, goalie's got no chance. So either top corner or bottom corner, extremely difficult. Anything above that, it's a problem. The last one, Sterling. What are we going to give Sterling then? I don't think he did that much. He obviously got the penalty, but that was more Pepe being a clown. Let's keep it clean. That's more Pepe being a clown than anything else. Just looking at the headlines at the moment, but there's a lot of rubbish out there. There's a lot of rubbish. There is something about, we'll talk about Douglas Luiz in a minute, guys. Sterling gets a 7. After you come back from an injury, it would help, don't you think? Yeah, I agree, Faris, but all right, he's been out for a long time. But it's important to get your first goal. Okay, I'll concede that point. It's important to get your first goal back. It will help. Sterling gets a 7 from Ruth, Ivan, and I saw another one. And I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I don't think he did anything special. For me, as I said, the penalty was more Pepe being a clown. Okay, let's look at the substitutes that need to talk about. Foden and Torres. Now, obviously, they both injected. Faris giving him a 7. Headlands. Foden and Torres, they injected a bit of life. But you got to remember, they came on when Porto were losing 2-1 after Gundogan had scored. So Porto needed to attack more. They needed, and they did actually end up with playing something like a 4-2-4 formation with lots of attackers. So they were leaving some spaces, but we took advantage. Foden, yeah, I'll go along with that. 7.5 seems reasonable, Faris, because, excuse me, he came on. He added that little bit of extra energy. And as I said yesterday, he's missed a couple of games, hasn't he? And he wants to prove that he can. He's there again. He can do it, and he should be starting, not being a sub. Sterling gets a 7 from Alexandros. I didn't eat it yesterday, football, not soccer. I didn't eat it. I had mine today. And it was extremely nice. Extremely nice. I'll tell you about that later. I'll tell you about the cooking later. So Sterling gets a 7 from Alexandros. Torres gets an 8. Foden gets a 7.5 from Ivan Bravo. Yeah, I'll probably go along with that. Torres, another one. I saw his match highlights today. He didn't get that many touches, but he was back defending. I think he had 3 nice touches that I can remember, where obviously he scored the goal. There's another one where he did something similar, and something in our own half where he helped get us out of trouble. I will look at his stuff, Ruth, but obviously I'm going to focus on the game. So that's the lineup. Obviously, Fernandinho got injured, which is a massive bummer. Massive bummer. What can you do? We just cursed with injuries. And the food, yes, the food was good. I had a salad with it. I'm trying to cut down on the carbs. So we had a salad with it's not normal what you'd have. You have rice or something, but we had salad with it, which is a bit different, but all the same, still very nice. Ruth has gone for, I'll read this quickly. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Ake, Zinchenko, or Cancelo, Rodri, Foden, Gundogan or Bernardo, Sterling, Torres, Aguero. I'm not so sure Pep will do that. I can see, why can't we play another 3 at the back? I can see that again. Walker, Diaz and Ake with Cancelo outside. Yeah, it seems like a decent side. I'm not sure Pep will start with Torres. Probably, I think he'll go maybe Gundogan and Bernardo, but not Torres. Injury FC. Ruth put 12 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 11 there because she's got Gundogan or Bernardo and Zinchenko or Cancelo. And Foden's on 2 lines. Will the situation get worse with injuries in November and December? I hope not, Faris. I hope not. Because I'm going to read them again. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Ake, Zinchenko or Cancelo, Rodri, Foden, Gundogan or Bernardo, Sterling, Torres, Aguero. 11 players. Foden gets 8.5. Sorry, guys, he's my favourite. Well, I'm not going to argue with you there, Alexandros. I think it's a little bit generous. Look, let's look at it. Where are we now? We're at a situation where by next weekend, we'll have Ake back, we'll have KDB back, I think, and we'll have Laporte back by not this weekend, next weekend. The weekend after, I think we'll get Gabby J back. Or almost ready by the weekend after. And then we're only missing Fernandinho and Mendy. And when you did the predicted lineup and you put 12 and you didn't notice until you were saying live. Yeah, Faris, it happens, man. It happens. But sometimes we need 12 players. Sometimes we're not good enough with 11. We need 12 sometimes. Let's have a look. What's going down? Yeah. So let's look at the other news. Was there any other news? There's something about. I'm going to try and pull up this page if I can. I hate some websites where they just say legitimate interest to track you everywhere. Just let me have a quick look. I can't find anything else really to chat about. We should have sold many. Ivan, you can't sell him. That's the problem. We couldn't sell him last summer because he was injured and nobody was going to pay the money and the wages. This summer, I think once again, you're in that situation where nobody's got the money. Nobody's got the money. Football, not soccer, getting caught out. It happens to us all, man. Happens to us all. Right, guys, it's 9:40. I put Zinchenko on. Yeah, saw that, Ruth. It's 9:40. Guys, I'm going to finish off by saying if anybody is new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. We did really well yesterday. Got about 25 new subscribers. Fantastic for everybody who joined. So, yeah, if you can do that, if you can subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. And if you can give us a like, it would be great. Tomorrow, what we got tomorrow, I remind you, I'm doing an interview or a preview with Jim I'll get his name right. Jim Salverson. Okay. Now, if you don't know who Jim Salverson is, okay, he's a journalist, podcaster. He's a West Ham fan, and he works on the Sport Social. Okay. Now he's going to give them a plug tomorrow. I know that, but he works on XS Manchester. So he's coming on tomorrow. I'll do something private with him because it's going to be in the middle of the day, and that will go out hopefully early evening. We'll do the Pets press conference, okay, and we will also have two guys on in the evening, okay. I'm just going to try and remember who they are, okay. So we've got one guy who is he's an MD of a record company. There you go. I'm not going to tell you who it is. He's the MD of a record company. So he's coming on tomorrow. I mean, just to give you an idea, the record company on Twitter have got over 200,000 followers on Twitter. So I'm just looking at all the stuff he does. Everything's got tons of followers. He does a fanzine that's got thousands, but the music, yeah. So he's a big West Ham fan. So he's coming on. His name's Wes. Alongside Wes in the afternoon, we got George. George, excuse me. He's a journalist. Okay, George, he's a journalist. He's an old fella, he says, but he works for the BBC Asian Network. He's a West Ham season ticket holder, big cricket fan, and he helps out with football teams as well. So he's another one. Come on, he's going to come on with Wes, and then that's at 7 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we've got Kevin. Now Kevin's coming on at 9. He's another big Hammers fan from the 60s, but he spent a lot of time living in Manchester. So he said, I'm just reading his bio. He said he lived within a couple of miles of Main Road and the Etihad. So he said he's probably seen more of City than West Ham live. So that's at 9 o'clock. So guys, an absolute shed load of stuff tomorrow. An absolute shed load. Football, we'll do the predicted 11 tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's Pep's press. Yeah, Faris, it'll be a press conference. So between 3 and 4 o'clock, if I can, I'll do the press conference. Excuse me. We've got lots of options now. As players come back, you can see we've got right now. We've got Torres or Foden. Yeah, they can come back. So we've got Zinchenko. So we're now starting to get options. Rui, referee gets a 10. Hey, Rui. Referee weren't great. He gives some poor yellow cards. The penalty that we got was obviously, if you look at the standing on the goalkeeper's ankle, you could argue that was generous. It was generous. But the ref made, I mean, the yellow card for Bernardo Silva, I thought, was extremely poor. There was another poor yellow card. And, you know, look, it could easily have gone a different way that game if we didn't get the penalty. Puts a lot of pressure on us. But, guys, it is what it is. You know, we definitely got a bit all that. But sometimes you think, you know, you deserve a bit of luck. I obviously, if it had happened to City, I understand how annoyed, frustrated, and even angry Porto fans will be. Look, guys, we've been there. We've been there so many times. You know, we were done by Leon, so we've been there. Oh, Pepe was disgusting. He's 37 years old. He gave a stupid penalty away because he's an idiot, and then he did that knee. What an idiot! I agree, Rui. That's why I said, you know, we were lucky, Rui Sosa. Gundogan almost brought the leg of Marchis in. I don't know if Gundogan was caught by Pep. Was it Pepe? Just caught his ankle. And then he took a couple of steps and then stood on the goalkeeper. You're a Benfica fan, by the way. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm a City fan, and I say we were lucky to get that penalty as well. You know, try to be objective as best as you can. Just try to be objective, guys. You know, you can follow your team and you can have a slight bit of bias, but you've got to try and keep it objective as much as you can. Right, guys, I think that's me lot. Just looking at my notes, I've got another podcast soon, I think tomorrow. Guys, I showed you this. I'll show you again. I'm not going to get out of the bag, but it's a Man City tracksuit, okay? A tracksuit bottom. It's an adult size small. Certainly wouldn't fit me. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it'd have fit me, okay? But it certainly wouldn't fit me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, guys, I'm going to put my handle out there because this is where the competition is going to be. If you want to enter that, so it's Ray City Fan TV. I think that's me on Twitter. Where you go? Have a look at that Twitter handle, guys. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that will go on Twitter as a prize, okay? Honestly, some of these competitions, guys, you get 10 people entering. You might only get 10 people entering a competition. For a trackie, that's worth, what's it worth? An adult tracksuit bottom. It's not one of these fleece type. It's not a thick one. It's quite I think they call it woven. It's quite nice, you know, looking at it. But that's so if you want to follow me on Twitter, as I said, sometimes you only get, you even get less than 10 people entering a competition, and that's up for grabs, guys. So please, if you're not following me on Twitter, get following me on Twitter. You know, in a season, I'd have probably done a dozen competitions. You know, football shirts. I think Blackpool Blu-ray won a football shirt. Other guys won prizes. I've got some kids stuff, that a full kids kit. That was socks. It was a baby kit, socks, shorts, and a shirt. Load of stuff going, guys. Excuse me. And I've got, give me a sec. I got 2 of these. If you're interested, I got 2 of these. So that's what is it? It's a t-shirt for a 4 to 5 year old. So I got 2 of them. They will be going before Christmas. They'll be gone as well. So and I got a couple of women's shirts as well. So they'll be gone as well. So I've already got 5 bits and pieces to go before Christmas, hopefully. Anyway, guys, you keep chatting with yourself about Benfica. But guys, catch me tomorrow as much as you can. You know, we're gonna smash it tomorrow, guys. Take care, everybody. You're still talking about Benfica. Guys, look after yourselves.